Welcome back. Every day, a mother and father in California live in fear. They will stumble on gruesome photos of their dead daughter. 18-year-old Nikki Katsouris was killed in a car crash. It was so bad, the coroner wouldn't let mom and dad identify the body. Well, now anyone in the world can see these horrible photos because 2 California Highway Patrol officers sent their family and friends pictures of the accident. So now it's all over the internet. And sadistic creeps are actually taunting her family. I will speak to the mom and dad in just a moment, but first we want to get some more particulars about this sad tragedy. And joining us to do that, our Prime News correspondent, Rochelle Carey. It's a horrific story. Go ahead, Rochelle.
It's really sad, Mike, and there are 9 photos of that fatal car crash. This accident happened on Halloween Day in 2006. Nikki took the keys to her dad's Porsche, a car she wasn't allowed to drive. Let's backtrack a little bit here, a few years. When Nikki was just 8 years old, she had to undergo intensive radiation for a brain tumor. Doctors told her parents that these treatments would affect her young brain. It could maybe impair her judgment, make her more impulsive. Her family says that's why she tried cocaine the summer before the accident and did have cocaine in her system the day of the wreck. In fact, they had thought about visiting a psychiatrist that very day. A specialist on brain disorders. Cops say Nikki was driving the Porsche at close to 100 miles an hour when she crossed the median and slammed into a concrete toll booth. The car was so mangled, Nikki did not have a chance. Well, 2 officers at the scene took the 9 pictures we're talking about. This is the only one, though, we are going to show you. One officer says he passed them along to family and friends to warn about the dangers of reckless driving. 9 photos now on at least 1,600 websites, some with horrendous captions, quote, "Spoiled little brat who is not so pretty anymore." That's just one example of the kind of captions we're talking about, Mike. It's despicable. It's heartbreaking.
You would just wonder what is wrong with the world when that kind of thing can go on and people can actually do that. Rochelle, thanks for that. So we're all on the same page as we move forward. Right now, Nikki's parents are in the middle of a legal fight to stop these pictures from spreading. You know, it affects us all. It could happen to any of us. You know, it seems like anything goes on the internet. And with me now, Nikki's parents, Leslie and Christos Katsouris, also with us, their attorney, Keith Bremer. First off, Leslie and Christos, our condolences here from Prime News. I'm sure it's been a few years, but that wound still has to be fresh. So thank you for telling your story, and thank you for fighting for what we should all have, the right to privacy in a case like this. And Christos, what is so horrifying as a father myself to think that someone would email me pictures, and they emailed you pictures, right? This was days after your daughter died. What came your way?
An email came, but it started off where there was thousands of emails sent out. And I got an email, the one that I opened up was "Woo Daddy, I'm alive." Yeah, there were emails all over the country.
And these were
with the pictures attached.
And these were the crime scene, the crash scene photos, right?
Correct.
Oh.
There were police evidence pictures that basically were for the investigation purposes, not for the public to see.
Leslie, I'm sure you can't even fathom that someone would taunt you over the tragedy of your daughter's death.
No, I can't. I don't understand. It's been something that's been hard enough as it is. We've lost our daughter, and we've seemed to have lost so much since then. And we don't understand why this is something that's being allowed to happen to us. And you know, we hate to see that this could happen in today's age of the internet. This just needs to be handled correctly right away.
Christos, so now you find out the pictures are out there. They're obviously sent back to you. Who'd you go to then? The Highway Patrol? Did you ask the questions? What'd they tell you?
Actually, initially, the initial steps were emails went to my brother and brother-in-law, and my brothers and my brother-in-law contacted the California Highway Patrol, and they said they would look into it. Once they identified the pictures as their pictures, I went down there to talk to them and ask them if there's anything they could do to help us get them off the websites. At that point, there was 35 websites that had the pictures on.
Keith, the pictures are out there. What was done to try and rein them back in? It's so difficult. Once they're on the internet, it's like wildfire, but go ahead.
Well, initially, we worked with a company called Reputation Defenders, Michael Furtek, and got with Michael to try to get these websites to take down these photographs. And from a legal perspective, we worked with Reputation Defenders and sent out cease and desist letters.
And what happened with that?
We had
too late?
pretty good. Well, it was too late in that it was already out there,
Right.
and once it proliferates, it kind of grows and goes from there. But we had a tremendous amount of success at getting most of the portals to take down these pictures, but what we found is they continue to come back over and over again. And so we continue with Reputation Defenders and the cease and desist letters and contacting the portals and asking them to remove the offensive photographs.
Right. Christos, one question. Why are you going public with this fight?
At this point, we tried so hard to do everything through our attorneys and through Reputation Defenders, who have done such an incredible job for us, all the parties. And we've got to a point where the case was dismissed initially. The California Highway Patrol, the state, were not willing to help us in any way, shape, or form. And we felt that if we try and get help from the public, and they see the story and see how it's affected our family, and that it will affect so many other people if this happens to someone else.
Yeah. Leslie, you have 3 other daughters. Have they seen the pictures, and how are you protecting them from that?
No, thankfully they have not seen the pictures. They don't go on MySpace like their friends do. They don't answer emails. And we keep them off the internet. They only go on the internet with us when they have to.
Well, we wish you the best in keeping that horror away from your other 3 daughters. Leslie, let me ask you to close out. How are you guys getting through this? I mean, not again. You lost your daughter, which is bad enough.
Yeah.
But now this.
Yeah. Our faith in God is how we're getting through this.
Well, thank you again, because the sobering fact is that this could happen to any of us. And it is just appalling at this day and age, as Leslie, as you said, that this could come back at us. That it's not enough you're going through the horror and the tragedy of losing a daughter in such a horrific way, but it would come back at you over and over again. And now you've got to be concerned about your other 3 daughters seeing these horrific photos. Thank you again. We're going to continue our conversation on the other side of the break. I want to hear from you on this, your thoughts, your concerns, as this family goes through this nightmare. Any of us, it could happen to any of us. Call in 1-877-TEL-HLN.